Welcome back. What's up, YouTube? And welcome to InvestDesk. This is your number one channel for investing in cryptocurrency with daily updates, news, forecasts. My name is Syed, and today in this stream, which is of course I've been doing live streams for the past week or so, which is super exciting because I'm learning a lot of the things that is happening with Dogecoin and other cryptocurrency. So we're going to take a look at a few things, some new development that I think is extremely important. So to me, even it's just breaking news, because even though it's a 4 or 5 day a week old, but the way I see it is of course long term, just like holding Dogecoin long term. So it's important that we take a look at this news and then we evaluate our strategy moving forward. Just a quick, of course, note that I'm not a financial advisor, guys. So all I do is just do my own research, do my due diligence, do heavy research, and then of course decide accordingly based on the portfolio that I would like to maintain, invest, and grow, whether it's a short term, long term, or medium term. And of course, with the community and with you guys, it's excellent because that's the best way we get to find out what's going on. So, all right, so I'm going to jump in and take a look at this particular breaking news, where the city of Miami within the United States and the mayor of Miami is actually promoting cryptocurrency, basically Bitcoin, to pay the employees of the Miami County. So we're going to take a look at that and what he has to say in that respect, and what actually happens or happened after he announced that this is what he wishes to do moving forward within Miami, United States. So before we actually take a look at it, let me set up my chat here, so we're doing okay with that. Just a few seconds here. All right, perfect. All right, so those of you who are new, just hit the subscribe button, guys. I appreciate your support. You've been awesome so far. Our channel is growing, and of course, I put a lot of effort. Okay, for the last week or so, I've been streaming twice, and every time there's something comes up, we talk about it. So we analyze the price and see what's going on with Dogecoin, and of course other cryptocurrencies as well. But primarily our focus has been Dogecoin, right? And everything that is happening with this. I just streamed this morning early on about how Coinbase is ready to do the initial public offering, right, to be listed on NASDAQ, right? And that's exciting because now you have the crypto exchange being listed on NASDAQ. All right, so we talked about that, so go check that out earlier on this morning. You'll find some really interesting news about how the regulators or the SEC is going to regulate the crypto exchanges, okay, which says a lot about the coins itself, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Dogecoin, and so on. But here in this update, I'm going to talk about this particular news about the mayor of Miami. So I'm going to see if I can find and then really bring up that screen. There we go. So you can see that this is in Miami Herald, by the way, and I'm going to play this video so you're able to see and actually hear what he has to say, and then we'll evaluate it. Okay, so if you just joined, great. Just hit the like button. Make sure you also hit the bell notification so you get notified every single time there's news about Dogecoin or Bitcoin. The idea is that cryptocurrency is a little bit long your fiat money into the crypto world, because in the future cryptocurrency with buying and selling. So we're going to take a look at what the mayor has to say, and of course what happened after the fact that, once he mentioned that he's going to, implement Bitcoin as part. Okay, so that has a big impact for one particular area within the United States. So even though he mentions a lot of good things, and we're going to take a look at what those things are. So let's go ahead and let me see if I can play it so you can see. It's only 42 seconds.
Directs the city manager after analysis. To procure a vendor to be able to offer our employees to get a percentage of their salary in Bitcoin, allow residents to pay for fees in Bitcoin, and also allow the city manager to cooperate with Miami County to allow not to pay for Bitcoin. It also a request of the state legislature that the city of Miami supports efforts to make Bitcoin an acceptable currency for substantial investors in the future. It's a wonderful feat, a very critical for the city and the city of Miami. I want to thank my commission colleagues for allowing that to happen.
All right, so just 40 seconds, right? Just a very, very short amount of speech given by the mayor itself, but you'll notice that right after his thoughts and what he wants to do is implement cryptocurrency, basically, right? That's the idea. Of course, the next step was for the commissioners, and they kind of didn't turn it down, but what they did was, let me bring that up here, and let's see, let me go ahead and refresh this. So basically what the commissioners did, they kind of stopped the mayor from doing it. However, the commissioners wanted to educate first, right? The community, the individuals, before they start to accept cryptocurrency. So they didn't outrightly deny it, okay? But what they did was, in fact, just made sure that everyone had the knowledge of cryptocurrency. And that's the key, okay? So what's happening, right? Overall, what's happening, guys? This is exactly the change management strategy, right? And that's what is going on with change management, right? So moving from paper currency, the traditional mindset, into a new world. And every time you do that, of course, there's something new, because people of my generation, like early 90s, for example, even before, we're the traditional kind of people, right? But the new generation, they're just a totally different, ball game for them. They're much more adaptive, and they're much more, just it's easier for them in this digital world. So, and that's exactly what the Miami mayor is actually foreseeing. He wants the cryptocurrency to be implemented, and it's easier for them. And here's when he was asked a question as to why he was doing it with public money. So hear what he has to say on one of the channels here, so you will know exactly his reply to this simple question, that why he was actually doing this. All right. So basically, what did he say? He if you did hear it, and the buzzword in this 40-second question and answer was regulatory framework. So the mayor is saying we are creating, a regulatory framework for crypto before we can actually start to implement it, right? And this kind of ties in with Coinbase, right? That one of my streams this morning, that ties in with that, because now the exchange is also going, public, right? And then of course that's going to be regulated by SEC, and the same thing is happening with, the city of Miami, right? The mayor of Miami is actually implementing, Bitcoin as payment for salaries to individuals, right? For example, or vendors to buy things. So moving forward, think about 6 months, 1 year from now, or maybe 2 years, right? Not that far. What's going to happen? If one county or one city within the United States effectively implement digital currency, or at least gives the option, right? So not remove the dollar, of course, it's going to stay. But on top of it, if you're given the option to buy and sell in Dogecoin, buy and sell in, BTC or Bitcoin or Ethereum, right? What's going to happen? Well, now you have a variety of choices. So you're going to think, well, geez, if I, trade in Bitcoin or, Dogecoin, that could, yield me better value in the long run. Why not, right? Because a dollar is a dollar, so you got to take a look at the present value and the future value of dollar. So I'm not going to get into finance because maybe we'll do it some later time. But that's really what the idea is when we talk about this particular mindset, right? So we are definitely moving in the future. We're taking a look at how and ways where we can implement Bitcoin. Okay, so we're going to take a look at that, and also the idea is that these exchanges like Coinbase, for example, and I'm sure others are going to follow too, same thing, and that's exactly what's going to drive and take at least Dogecoin to the moon. And that's what we're hoping, because this, even though today's price, if you look here, notice on the chart, it's at about 0.51. It started off in the morning at 0.55, 0.56 even, right? But by the end of the day, it's about at 0.51. And of course, remember a few days ago when we talked about buying low and just kind of holding it. That's one of the strategies. And there are other individuals who are just buying and then, of course, selling, because they're either day trading and they're pumping and dumping. But of course, for my personal strategy, I'm not a financial advisor, but I hold it. Okay, so I buy low and I hold it. And last time I bought it was at 0.42, right? This was the last dip, just day before yesterday. And also talk about moving averages. Okay, maybe not today. I just want to focus on the concept of crypto as the future currency and the evidence that kind of is evolving. First, companies are adopting Dogecoin as a method of payment. Second, the city of Miami, the mayor is actually advocating Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, as means of paying their employees and vendors and buying and selling, for example, right? For the city. A third, major players like Elon Musk, of course, is also supporting the idea, and definitely he is into Bitcoin because Tesla just bought $1.5 billion worth of cryptocurrency. And of course, Coinbase is the entire crypto exchange where you buy and sell digital currency like Bitcoin, Ethereum, is going public. All right, and when you go public, and those of you who have a little finance background, you understand that this is regulated by the Security and Exchange Commission, right? Which means, right, in turn, that implies that these exchanges or the investors are going to be protected. Okay, and that's the idea. So the regulation simply protects us. So we'll have more confidence in Coinbase, for example, or other platforms that are going to go public and then putting our money easily, because they're regulated, they're being watched, right? They're being told what they can do and what they cannot do. So because right now these exchanges are private, right? Like Robinhood, for example, could do anything, and there's nothing you can do. Let me give you an example here. Robinhood, for example, restricts number of trades per week, for example, right? You need to have a minimum of $25,000 before they open up, or make you as a day trader. But otherwise, if you do more than like 5, I believe that's the limit, 4 or 5, like in succession, they'll restrict your account, so you will not be able to trade. So those kind of things, happen when you have private exchanges. But if you are, a public exchange, definitely you'll be regulated by the SEC laws, and then you would not have to, at least those laws protect investors, right? So those rules and regulations are to protect us as investors. So that's a great thing. So all of these things are corroborated when you combine all of these evidence together over a period of 3 months, 4 months, going back, and then you combine those, and moving forward, you also can kind of see, because the history teaches us quite a bit, right? And of course, students of history would either say yes or no. So let me know what you think. So hit the like button, make sure you subscribe to this channel, because you are going to get daily updates, news, forecasts about Dogecoin and other cryptocurrency prices, and of course the strategies that we also talk about, like buying lower, keeping your buying costs at a low level, minimum possible, and then spanning out your portfolio for short term, medium term, or long term. So all these strategies we talk about in our streams. So but today we're focusing on what the mayor had to say regarding cryptocurrency, wanted to implement cryptocurrency as part of their city, and the commissioners, they voted on mayor's talk, and they didn't stop him, but they said, well, let's educate the community first into cryptocurrency, and then we can vote again to decide whether we're going to implement or not. So right now it's at a halt. They stopped it, but they also wanted to see and educate people, because more and more individuals need to be on board. That's the key, right? So as more and more individuals get on board, that's the idea. Okay, so let me know what you think about Dogecoin, Bitcoin, and the cryptocurrency in general, right? Where things are heading, how things are progressing, and where they're moving towards, because that's important. All right, so that's one of the things I want to talk about. And then let's bring up my jar. I have not brought up my subscriber jar here, guys. Let's take a look. Where is it? I keep forgetting. There we go. This is my subscriber jar. We are super excited, and I'm super thankful for your support, guys. The reason why I made this channel, well, it has been sitting for a while, and I decided to create news about cryptocurrency, because I've been doing it for a while, so might as well share my knowledge and strategies with the community. So hit the subscribe button, and of course get those comments coming in, and of course kind of like it too. So I hope and I thank you so much for the support. All right, so let's take a look at the price now. I want to take a look at the price of Dogecoin. This is real time, by the way, so it's at 0.52. It was at 0.55 right this morning, and even yesterday, which is about the range. It's still kind of stabilizing itself, right? Going back up to 5.3, 5.2, and then just in that area. Okay, and of course, well, if the tweet comes from Elon Musk, it certainly jumps, right? We've seen that a couple of times in the past. So the spikes are partly to do with big fish or Elon Musk and other celebrities kind of supporting this currency, but it has shown resistance levels. And what I mean by this is, for example, yesterday or a day before, right, Bitcoin was at 58,000 and now it's at 49. Okay, you can see it way up here in the corner top. Let me in fact bring the chart here for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin was at reached all the way up to high levels at 58,000 approximately, and then right now it says 49. But during the drop of Bitcoin yesterday, interesting thing happened was that Dogecoin went up. Okay, so that kind of shows that Dogecoin is not tied with other cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin. Okay, whereas if you were to take a look at 2 weeks ago, right, it seems like Dogecoin was following Bitcoin suit. So if Bitcoin was going up, Dogecoin was going up, and vice versa, right? And same with Ethereum. But interesting thing happened a couple of days ago when Bitcoin kind of fell, Dogecoin went up, and that kind of shows that Dogecoin itself is showing the the levels or the resistance on its own, which is super great, which is super duper, right? So right now Bitcoin is at 49, 157, somewhere around there. Okay, that's what's happening with Bitcoin. But with Dogecoin, like I mentioned earlier, it's just holding its own ground, right? All right, so it's taking a little while for the chart to come in. There we go. Might as well see it. There it is. So again, notice the pattern, right? Pretty much the same as Dogecoin. But when it comes down to the actual drop of Bitcoin price, Dogecoin kind of went up at that moment. So you could say that, yeah, it's tied together, but it still has its own independent resistance that is showing. So if you look at this chart of Bitcoin, and let me go back to Dogecoin, you'll notice it's pretty much kind of like the same trend, right? But this is where it was different, right? When it kind of had its own levels. And I also want to take a look at and talk about moving averages. Okay, so moving averages is a tool that finance guys use. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm gonna give you some insight on moving averages and what that is and how you can use it possibly to implement within your own. Again, don't take my word for it, guys. This is just my experience and my personal take. So moving average is basically a simple technical analysis that you do. It's a tool that smooths out the price data by simply creating a constantly updated average price. Okay, so that's all that does. So the average is taken over a period of time, like 10 days. You could do it for 30 weeks or 20 minutes, or depending on how you as a trader, as an investor, would choose. And of course, there are advantages to using a moving average in your trading or you're buying cryptocurrency, as well as options on what type of moving average to use. I'm going to talk about those briefly as well. But the important areas to know about moving averages is that, first, moving average is, of course, a widely used technical indicator that smooths out the price. Okay, so it's gonna smooths the price out. Think of the actual price of cryptocurrency or the stock as the speed, and the moving average is the accelerator, right? The acceleration rather. So another thing about moving average is that moving average can be constructed in several different ways. So you could basically employ different numbers of days for the averaging interval. So for example, if you notice this chart here, this kind of purple, right? The magenta is a 25, right? MA25. This right here means moving average of 25. So if I open up the settings here